After a long preseason, let's just jump into this week's picks. Sorry for the late upload. Some things have been going on. It's been busy around the house. So every week, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post NFL picks weekly, so we pick 4 of the best games, choose the winners, and then we each pick an upset game, which is against the spread. Although we don't choose against the spread, we choose who wins straight up, but the upset pick has to be against the spread, technically. So if we jump right into the first game, week 1, Thursday Night Football, Green Bay Packers traveling to Seattle Seahawks. Seattle winning the Super Bowl was a big deal for them. They want to repeat. Nobody's ever thought that Seattle will make it back to the Super Bowl. There are a few skeptics out there, that crazy Seattle fans that want them back in the Super Bowl, but definitely look for Aaron Rodgers and company to put an end to that. The spread's -5.5 going towards Seattle, so against the spread, definitely pick Green Bay, because Green Bay will not let this game go within 5 points, and just look for Green Bay to win it all straight up.
In a rematch of the Fail Mary game, I picked the Packers to be the Super Bowl champs. Aaron Rodgers is the superior QB, and something tells me he isn't going to let the game end the way it did the last time. Seattle's defense is great, I'm not going to deny that, but Rodgers can overcome it.
The second game we're covering, of course, it's not that interesting of a game for anybody who's not in the NFC South, but of course we're going to take the Falcons game, being a Falcons fan. The Saints traveling into Atlanta. After watching Atlanta on Hard Knocks, it gives everybody a really good in-depth view of the hardships that all the players have to go through before getting cut, or even making the final roster. And the Saints are looking dominating in the preseason. Straight up, my gut says the Saints, but I can't pick against my team, so I'm going to go Atlanta. The spread's only 3 points, which is extremely low for this game. You would think Atlanta coming in from 4-12 against a team like the Saints, the spread would be a lot higher, but the Saints are only favored by 3, so definitely against the spread, take Atlanta. Straight up, take Atlanta.
For this one, I'm going with the team I'm predicting to take the division this year, the Saints. Falcons were incredibly underwhelming last year, and I doubt they'll be as bad as they were, but this is not a good game for them to kick off the new season.
The third game we're covering this week is the 49ers traveling into Dallas, Texas. We all know that the 49ers had a terrible preseason, whereas the Cowboys did so-so. Everybody's really going to choose the 49ers in this one, with the spread only being 5.5. San Francisco's favored by 5.5. So, straight up, you cannot pick against Dallas in Dallas, especially with the 5.5 point spread. The Cowboys will not let the 49ers get at least 6 points, especially with the 49ers getting their first touchdown of the preseason so late in the preseason. The 49ers are just not looking like the team that everybody knows, so definitely look for Dallas to exploit them. So straight up, we're taking Dallas.
Picking the 49ers here. Despite having a bad preseason, it's fucking preseason. Kaepernick is most likely going to fare well against that Dallas defense. Romo could really go either way. He could pull out the win, but I don't foresee it happening.
The game that probably everyone's looking forward to, the Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Denver Broncos. Andrew Luck taking on his own rival, I'd say. Even in the town of Indianapolis, they gave Peyton Manning a good standing ovation, but the Broncos clearly taken on suspensions with Wes Welker now, which just recently came out suspended 4 games, and Matt Prater suspended, I think, 4 games. I don't know what the hell's going on in Denver, but they need to stop getting concussions, stop juicing up, and stop getting caught by the NFL, because they're just going to keep suspending them, and it's definitely not looking very well for them. While Andrew Luck and company are looking like the team to beat for the AFC for the Super Bowl, Colts for the AFC, so definitely take Andrew Luck in this one.
After an embarrassing loss in the Super Bowl, I think Manning is going to take out some aggression on his old team. This can easily be a preview of this year's AFC Championship game. I believe it's going to be a really good shootout between 2 great QBs. I honestly could not think of an upset. I just so happened to pick the Vikings to win, then realized the Rams were favored. Don't really know why, but whatever. Nothing fancy from me this week.
Now, like I said before, we do upset picks. We both get to pick our upset. You just saw Tensa's upset. Now you're going to get my upset. The Oakland Raiders traveling into the New York Jets. Jets favored by 5, which is why we call this an upset. If you pick a team that is definitely not favored for, that is an upset. So definitely take the Raiders in this, with Derek Carr being named QB over Matt Schaub. The Raiders have to do. The Raiders seem like the better team here, even though it's in New York and they basically just get 3 points for being at home. Definitely take the Raiders in this one. Even to cover, I don't think the Jets will beat them by 5 points. I hardly think they're going to beat them at all. This is why I'm taking Oakland. So just put that down in as your upset pick. So like I said before, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We do these things weekly. We like to get commenters into conversations with one another. People say, oh, I'm a Seahawks fan, and others say, oh, go suck a dick because I'm a 49ers fan. Do what you want, comment what you want. Don't be a dick to us. We know that, you know, oh God, I picked the Falcons, he's a biased asshole. No, I'm not. This is what I think. This is truly what I think will happen. It's not that big of a deal. All the Saints fans are going to cry about it, sure. If we didn't pick your team, big whoop. We know there's people who love the Seahawks that just get a boner over them for some reason, and then when we pick against them, they shove that boner right down our throats. I have no idea why people get so angry on the internet. We put these videos out for you. If we're doing something right, definitely tell us, but you have to subscribe to keep up with us. This is going to be a brand new year. We're going to try to go way over the bar from other years. We're going to bring in a few special guest talkers. You know what I mean? We'll get T-Pops back in here next week because this video was kind of a little bit rushed. Going to try new things, new effects, new videos. So definitely keep on your toes. Keep liking this video. Like all the videos. Comment on them. Subscribe. Let us know what you want to see, and then we'll put it in next week's video. Comment your upset pick below, and we'll definitely get back to you on any comments you have about next week's games. If you think a game should have been picked, then tell us about it, and tell us who you're picking so then we know. If you don't know who you're picking, then how are we going to know who you're picking? Alright guys, we'll see you next week. Peace out.